Well, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the farm. I just got the kids to bed, and I got a couple hours, maybe that much. We'll see. To get a little bit of extra work done on this project here. So this is the greenhouse pad, as you can see. Flattened out the dirt the other day, and we built kind of the frame that goes around the perimeter. But there's a couple of low spots. There's one there, one in that corner. I could probably throw a little bit more in that. Basically, all the corners. So I'm going to fire up the old yellow tractor and see if I can do a little salt bay action and just sprinkle a little bit of dirt in the corners there. I don't want to put too much, don't want to have to do too much shovel work, but we'll get that in there quick, and then I don't make any noise with the shovel or a rake, but get that tractor work done before the neighbors put their kids to bed, make too much noise. I had quite the issue with water in the fuel on this thing the other day, so I'm leaving the hood off for a while, just in case that problem comes to haunt me again. Oh man, quite the spider web before I climb in there. Man, they're just taking over. Anyways, see if this old girl fires right up or not. All right, well, I got my dirt work done, got all the sprinkling done. I'm over here now with the chicken tractors, and it's getting on, it's 9:15, because you can see we're kind of losing a bit of daylight. This is the challenge of keeping meat chickens this time of year, especially if you're working full-time off farm and just coming home in the evening or first thing in the morning and trying to get this done. Now, my wife suggested maybe we do what my mother-in-law does, is just let them out. Just let them out. Just have a net. If we got kind of the net where the horses are, rig up something like that, and they can just do a bit of free ranging. I kind of like the thing, move them every day, give them fresh, clean sheets. It helps build soil, all that kind of jazz. She said, well, they look kind of mucky. They look, they're a bit confined. They're getting bigger. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong answer there. As to, what's better, but I've always liked to have the ability to have shelter, protection from aerial predators, protection from any kind of landborne predators. Certainly that provides a lot more protection than some of that netting would. But I think maybe this weekend, if we find some time, because time is always the limiting factor when it comes to this stuff. As you can see, we're doing this at 9:15 at night. If we have some time, I'll take some blocks and prop up the front end of the tractors and make a netted area. I'll probably just take this fence that we have right here and just wrap it around over here, because we've come all the way from the other side, way over there behind the greenhouse. We've come all the way down here, and we're just about at the other garden shed, and it'd be time to turn around and head back that way. I know it's going to make you dizzy, me keep spinning around here, but yeah, so it's about time to head back the other way. So why not give it a try? They're closing in a couple 3 weeks, and it'll be time for butchering, so let them have a little bit more leg room. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as we can keep the owls, the hawks, the ravens, all that kind of stuff away. We did have, over last weekend, we did find a pile of feathers, and then there was big owl pellet nearby. So we're pretty sure that one of our chickens was out past curfew and paid the ultimate price for it. So it's just something we'll have to monitor for. This grain mix we got them on right now, this is just a local grain mix we get from Bloom Enterprises. My buddy Robin over there, you can check out his YouTube channel. It's called Millionaire Farmer. So there's wheat, barley, oats, peas, canola, and then of course I throw a little bit of sunflower seed in there as well. So once the birds are bigger like that, the moves don't take very long. It's fairly smooth, just an easy drag. Don't have to worry about anybody running running anybody over. It's just when they're little, when they first come out of the brooder, you got to move that thing pretty gingerly. But they're big enough to move out of the way here now. Hey, Ranger. So you can see in here, this is where the opening of the chicken tractor is, and this is kind of why they get a little bit mucky, I guess, when they get a little bit bigger. This hatch is 4 feet by 3 feet, and I put the feed in there and the water in there. Of course, they are fairly close proximity as they get bigger. There's any kind of jostling, there's water, there's food, there's a high traffic area, and of course it gets a little bit muddy, right? But I mean, it's not terrible. This is where they come from, so you know, it's still relatively green, and you can see, of course, that's where either the water jug was or the feed. I think that's probably where the feeder was, and the water jug would have been back there a little bit. So it does stay pretty green. So of course there immediately becomes an advantage of popping the front up and letting them roam in a net, is because they can add quite a bit more space between the water and the food and the shelter, and there's just the high traffic area doesn't exist anymore. Of course they're all coming to the feeder and they're all coming to the water, but it's not within the same, you know, 25-30 square feet, so to speak. Now of course the entire chicken tractor itself is 10 by 12, and so there's 120 square feet there for them all to exist in. Now it's recommended that kind of the minimum space a bird requires is 2 square feet per bird. So in here we have about 4.5 per bird. So they do have lots of room. But how I've managed this in previous years, when you get kind of later season, like you get to that beyond 8 weeks, from 8 weeks to whatever butchering day is, we generally manage that with 2 moves a day. But we also have them earlier in the year when we do that, so it's light on both ends of the day. Now of course, if I were to come out at 5 o'clock in the morning, when I generally come out to get ready to go to work, it is pitch black. I don't like moving chickens when it's pitch black. It's not that you can't do it, but there is a heightened risk of the birds, you know, not being straight up, just not being awake. I don't want to be awake either. So there's a heightened risk of running one of them over, and once you've poured that much feed and that much effort and that much time into something, you really don't want to take a completely unnecessary loss. So that's why I try and move them in the evening, after work, after supper, after the kids gone to bed, right? You can see where I'm going with that limited time frame side of things. So logic is telling me I should probably listen to my wife and release these things up into a bigger netted area, so I don't have to look at multiple moves a day, because just the way we're set up right now at this time of year doesn't make a lot of sense. If we had these out here and this was end of May, beginning of June, fill your boots, move them 3, 4, 5 times a day if you want to, because you got daylight for days, so to speak. One thing that has been really nice though is we've been getting extraordinarily warm weather. So today I think it was about 29 degrees. I'm getting feasted on by mosquitoes right now because it is so warm. But what that's meaning is the grass is actually, you know, earlier in the year we didn't get any rain, and so it wouldn't keep up. But now we've had 3 inches, 2.5, almost 3 inches of rain. We're getting this warm weather in the late season. I mean, you can see how green everything is. This is very uncommon. We're kind of concerned that there'll be a frost or there's going to be a snow here soon. But you know what? If the good Lord's going to give us green grass, we're going to move chickens on it. Well, you know what? I think the only thing I got left to do is run a little bit of feed over to some kitty cats, and then I can probably go inside and have a cup of tea. So I guess it's about time I let you go for now. So I hope you have a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow.